Good morning, Craig Howard. Happy to be with you this morning. I do that a lot. I was reading some articles this morning, and I ran across an article that was written about a restaurant owner who found it was much easier to dish out bad news than to swallow it yourself. I guess she thought it was somehow going to promote her business or make her business better or whatever, but she started soliciting bad news about other restaurants from former employees that had worked at those restaurants, and she asked them to send the information to her Instagram page, and then she would publish it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever she was publishing it on social media. And so she was asking former employees to tell her about the conditions of these other restaurants and basically just to dish out the dirt on these other restaurants. I guess she thought by making them look bad, it was going to make her restaurant look better or something. I don't really know what she was trying to accomplish. But it was working, I guess, until some of her former employees started saying, what do you think you're doing? And started putting it back on her and started sending information to other restaurants about her, who started posting it, about her, about how she micromanaged everything and about how cruel she was to certain employees and just really, really tearing things apart. And all of a sudden, this thing that seemed like a good idea wasn't such a good idea anymore. It was coming back on her. I find a lot of people doing stuff like this where they're very quick to criticize others to make themselves look good. They'll point out their flaws. They'll point out their shortcomings. One church will talk about another church, or a pastor will talk about what's going on at this other church that he doesn't think is right or she doesn't think is right. But when it comes down to it, they don't want to hear the complaints about themselves or about their church. People are the same way. We don't want to hear complaints about ourselves, but we're very quick to dish out criticism toward others. And the Bible kind of takes a whack at this. Over in Matthew chapter 7, verses 3-5, Jesus says, "Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, 'Let me take the speck out of your eye,' when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's." In other words, what that verse is saying is, before you go around criticizing other people, or before you go around criticizing other churches or other businesses or whatever, take a look at yourself and ask yourself, what do I need to clean up about me first? What do I need to fix about me? What's wrong here that needs to be fixed before I go trying to tell other people what they need to do to fix their life or their business or their church or whatever. And once you start going down the road of being that critic, and there, it seems like there are a multitude of people that are jumping on that bandwagon these days. Our politicians do very little to talk about the issues that they want to address, and instead spend all their time just criticizing one another and telling people how foolish and how wrong each other are. I want to know what you're going to do to fix our country. I care less what you think about your opponent. But it seems like it's the way of things. People get on social media and they rip and tear at each other, doing nothing to address what problems might exist in our society or in our community or whatever. We need to take a look at ourselves and say, what am I doing to fix the problem in here? What am I doing to fix the problem in our community, in our world? What am I doing to make things better, instead of worrying about, is somebody else doing something they shouldn't be doing? I guess when we've got that plank in our own eye, it's hard to see. It's hard to look in the mirror it's hard to realize that, hey, we've got some things here we need to clean up before we start criticizing Joe or Shirley or Dawn or whoever. But think about it. We all have things in here, me included, that we need to clean up. And if we work as hard at fixing that as we do at criticizing everybody else, something tells me we'd get more done. Well, my time is gone. That loud crow, I guess, finally flew away. I hope you have a wonderful day today. Can't decide yet. I haven't looked at the weather, but it sure is a beautiful blue sky over that way. So I'm hoping we're going to have a beautiful day, and I hope you're going to have one. I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And in the meantime, take a look in the mirror. I'll talk to you tomorrow. God bless.